Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Here we are, the Office Blokes.
Yeah, we are.
Bit of advice. I was the highest paid dancer at America's #1 strip club.
Yeah.
What
video are we going to watch though? Was that just a statement of fact?
You don't get many strip clubs over here. It's not a thing over here.
Really, no.
The only one I know has just been closed down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's they're trying to relicense it at the moment. It's the only one I know.
Right, yeah.
It's Totties.
Change it to apartments and
yeah,
stuff
they were looking to do
thing.
that, but so it reopened again. But then they said they can only reopen it as like a nightclub.
Right, okay.
There was no dancing allowed in there as
right.
No like lap dancing or whatever.
Yeah.
It's called lap dancing clubs over here, aren't they? Not called strip
I guess
clubs.
I guess it is the same sort of thing, though, is it?
Yeah. But when you go to the USA, quite.
I think it's a bigger thing over there, isn't it? It's more sort of acceptable as well over there. Would you say, sort of thing? More of a
it's nice to work next to a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, over here, it's sort of still seen as a bit more seedy, isn't it? And a bit more,
Yeah, I don't find it seedy at all, mate. I think it's each to their own. That's the way I see it. I never turn my eye to anything where I think, ooh, that's, apart from illegal things. Yeah. Then I'm like, if it's illegal, I don't want to know. It's not for me. But if it's all above board and legal and people making money, I'm like, go for it. It's business at the end of the day. If you can get customers for it, go for it.
Yeah, if people going to pay, then why not?
Let's get into this then. I was the highest paid dancer at America's #1 strip club. I was there.
The Go Club was a presentation in itself. The club was so beautiful. I was amazed by the whole thing. That was the greatest time in Atlanta for the strip club industry as a whole. You're always seeing John Stockton, Reggie Miller, Jermaine Dupri, Little John, Keanu Reeves, Madonna, Michael Jordan. I've dated Dennis Rodman for a little bit. There was congressmen, there were senators. We had the King of Sweden in there one night. Anybody who was anybody came to the Go Club.
Federal law enforcement officials call this nightclub a criminal enterprise.
We got shut down. It was just insane, the amount of charges that we were facing. I was looking at over 100 years in prison. My name is Jacqueline Diva Cook, and I worked at the world-famous Go Club until it got raided by the feds in the 1990s. What brought me to Atlanta? I went down to visit my fiance, but before I left, my girlfriend and I were talking. There's this book back then called The Entertainment Guide, and the Go Club was always on the front cover every freaking month. We would hear these stories about girls that would go down and get a job there, and they were making so much money, and it was glamorous, and I was already...
I guess OnlyFans is the modern day sort of like equivalent. When people going down there dancing, making loads of money, whatever it is. When you look at OnlyFans now and you see how much some of these people make on there, and it goes from one extreme to another now. I think OnlyFans first starting out, I think I read it was like an art gallery in Vienna or somewhere, something like that in Austria. They're paying. It was a paid membership of OnlyFans, so they can watch they can see the gallery online. So they don't actually visit.
Right, okay.
And then the girls got hold of it, and it turned into OnlyFans with the girls, and now it's like just gone a little bit to.
A bit more
crazy.
the other way, shall we say?
A bit crazy.
Yeah.
You can pretty much get anything you want on there, sort of thing, apparently. But,
it's definitely developed over the years, then, hasn't it?
It has, and it's
very much so.
Whether people still go to strip clubs as frequently as strip clubs are still a thing on the grander scales where they would be, where people sort of like do it in their own privacy of going to subscribing to an OnlyFans page.
But like I say, it does seem more acceptable over there, where you have people like Michael Jordan and all those famous people that do not, they won't be embarrassed about being photographed there. But if it's over here, strip club over here, you had, like, for example, a load of Premier League players or TV presenters going into
the news.
It'd be like, it'd be huge.
What you got to remember in the 90s, there was no phones.
True,
no camera phones. There's definitely no camera phones anyway. Yeah. But I've been in a few again. Strip clubs, it's like it's one of them. It's like a thing where you go into like a bar or whatever, and a couple of doors down will be a strip club. Yeah, or you go in a restaurant, a few doors down, strip club, and just go in a strip club, have a few beers. Yeah, you don't have to get dances or anything. I just sit at a bar or and do whatever. And,
I think it's a bit more acceptable in the States. So that, in my sort of thoughts, it is anyway. Yeah. But
a topless dancer, learning of the Go Club, and already in it, you're thinking, see, this could better my life. I just was like, I want to do that. Atlanta, at the time that I moved down at the end of '96, the strip club industry was literally second to Coca-Cola. Massive. I don't care where you went, there's a strip club. Most of them were trying to compete with us, but they couldn't. But they were fun. You have your black strip clubs, your white strip clubs, and you have us. We're a mixed group of women. You had every nationality, every color, every height, boobs, no boobs, anything that a guy wanted, we had. We always had at least 200 girls on the floor every night. Wow. It was a combination of Vegas meets Studio 54. Because you have all the celebrities, you have senators, congresspeople, actors, musicians, NFL players, baseball players. Anybody who was anybody came to the Gold Club because that was the thing to do. The Gold Club was based on privacy and it was based on customer service, like the epitome of what customer service is. You have a gentleman at the front door that opens your car door, walks you in, and then you meet another floor man. He takes you to seat you, and you're just catered to all night. And we had plenty of waitresses on the floor, so there was never a dry glass in the building. We wore evening gowns. Our hair was done, makeup was done. It was very glamorous. The Gold Club was total glam. Like in Milwaukee, we had to have pasties on. In Georgia, it's fully nude and they're serving drinks. It makes for a very...
Yeah, in New Jersey, if you were fully nude, there was no alcohol.
Oh, right.
So you have to bring, if it was fully nude, you had to bring your own alcohol.
Yeah.
And if it was semi-nude, they could serve alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah.
That's strange.
Interesting evening. We had Vegas-style shows throughout the night. We had roll call when we all put on tuxedo jackets, bow ties, our black thong, and we all marched down the steps so that all the men in the place could see how many women we have. We did skits. We had a YMCA. We had Animal, where I put a chain around a girl's neck and drag her through the club, and we do a lesbian show on the stage. And we really didn't get tipped a lot on stage because as soon as you come off, there's a gentleman calling for you. So that was just like your arena to show off. Working in the club, your main goal is to make it upstairs to the VIP rooms. I wanted upstairs. I wanted the big dollars. I just watched. I paid attention how the women worked the room to go up to gold rooms. And when I finally got my first gold room and got a taste of it, I didn't look back. When it came to being in a nude club with bottle service, that was me, Champagne Diva. If you ask me what I'm gonna drink, you're buying me a bottle. I would act like I'm giving the champagne bottle a blowjob and pull it out of my mouth and pop the cork off of it, and it was lodged right there in my teeth, and I'd spit it out. And the guys were like, oh my God, get another bottle. I want to see her do that again. I sold a lot of champagne. That time in my life was just, it was pure insanity. The way I traveled, shopped, personally, didn't have to come out of my pocket for a thing. Guys just like to spoil me, and I lived for it. I was like, yes. I had a guy, I had no idea this was...
When you think about it that way, it's kind of like the old day influencer.
I guess so, yeah.
You know, where people pay for them to wear certain clothes, or people want to be with them and sort of like, you know, just sort of like be seen with them, or
that's right.
You know, nothing untoward going on.
She was probably getting the reputation as being one of the best ones there, so people will probably want to be seen with her, don't like say a bit of like an influencer. Sort of the early days of it.
Yeah, I think that's what it's kind of like the modern day, sort of like the way it's turned into the modern day world now.
Yeah, but now it's more online and stuff, isn't it?
Correct.
I'm guessing a bit more out there, so...
It was going to be the best night I've ever had. He came in town. He was an oil tycoon from Texas, and he used to come and see me every 3 months. He had his crew with him. We were all in Gold Room 7. He dropped 50 grand on me that night, for my 30th birthday, and I got spoiled that night. That was the most money I ever made. He spent about $100,000 that night because he tipped the waitress $20,000. He got every champagne glass in the building, and he was passing out champagne to the entire building. I don't know, he just was in a good mood. Guys would spend a lot of money in there. In my first year working at the Gold Club, I made $186,000. That was a lot of money for me. I didn't think I'd ever see that type of money in my lifetime. My highest amount that I made working at the Gold Club was my third year there. I made $373,000 that year. The year before, I came close. I was about $350,000 during my course of working.
But to the tax man, it was 21 grand.
Yeah. I can imagine, there was some cash going on there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah, it's all cash there, wasn't it?
Big money, like 90s, was it?
You didn't slide the credit card, mate.
Hey,
going down the
Wow.
No trace.
Yeah. Exactly.
Being at the Gold Club, I became the #1 dancer in the U.S. because Steve put me on that pedestal. Steve Kaplan, the owner of the Gold Club. He took me upstairs, he got in the DJ booth, and he got on the microphone, he shut the music off, and he announced to the entire club that Diva is untouchable. She can come and go when she pleases. She can fire you, she can hire, she can do whatever she wants. Leave Diva alone. That's my girl. My ego was just like, ha ha, I made it, bitches. I worked at the Gold Club from 1997 through 2001 when we got closed, when we got shut down. The reason that the feds were interested in the Gold Club, it stemmed back from the train station service in Atlanta. They were trying to expand their property and they wanted to buy Steve out and he turned them down. And then next thing you know, we're being watched. We knew they were coming, we just didn't know when. The club had a very eerie feeling in it. You just knew the bottom was about to drop out. The night that we got raided, all night I felt on edge and something said, go home. I had forgotten my phones that night, they were at home. So I got dressed, I get in my car, and just as I'm pulling to the edge of the parking lot, I see in my rearview mirror men in all black with these large guns, gas masks on, and I'm thinking, oh my God, the club's getting robbed. Not realizing it's the feds. So when I get home, of course, my phones are blowing up. Steve's calling, he's like, they're coming for you. They came.
The way that Fed walks there, right? Just watch him. When he's the first one, he's got his hand in his pocket. That's the walk of like, I'm in charge here. I'm the head of the operation, and you're all going down. That's what's going through his head, right? Just watch him. He's the one that's leading it with his hand in his pocket.
Of course, my phones are blowing up. Steve's calling. He's like, they're coming for you.
He's got the swag
to my house 2 days later. It was
you don't
pretty
fall.
scary to have that many feds at your home. It's frightening. I truly believe they used me as a pawn to get to Steve because I was one of the closest people to him. He's the owner, and now he's faced with a RICO act, and they're grabbing whoever they can that's closest to him to try and get him to break, and you put all these trumped up charges on us for nothing. They came at us with conspiracy to commit racketeering, money laundering, extortion, harboring a fugitive, murder, defrauding Delta Airlines, defrauding Visa, defrauding American Express. They superseded our indictment 3 times. It was just insane the amount of charges that we were facing. I was looking at over 100 years in prison. Frightening for somebody from a small town. The court case went on for about 4 months. Steve was paying everybody's lawyer fees. He was covering the cost of everything for us. There were 17 of us that were indicted.
Wow.
And he paid all of their lawyer fees. And he decided enough is enough. I'm over this, I'm tired. We were all tired. The every day, 8 hours a day listening to garbage was just too much. So he said, we're gonna take a plea. You guys are all gonna walk unscathed. I'm gonna do 13 months in prison. I'm paying a $5 million restitution, and everything's done. And that's exactly what he did. Wow. He had had enough. We all did. It was taxing, and it was hard being away from my children. It was really hard. Since Steve made that sacrifice for us, I don't have a blemish on my record. I can pass any background check. I can pass a federal background check because there's nothing there anymore. My net worth with everything that I had was 1.2 million. That's a lot of money. I worked hard for that. 14-hour days. To lose it all, tough pill to swallow. The worst part for me, though, were my kids' college funds. That, to me, was a slap in the face. You could take everything else, but I wish that would have stayed. Losing everything that I worked really hard for to go back to just a normal life, it was difficult at first. I struggled with it. And people would ask me all the time, like, how do you go from jet setting and taking vacations, going to Vegas all the time? How do you go from that to not? And not having the means to do it the way you did. You just have to adjust your life. It is what it is. You can't get it back right then, so You just change how you do things. It's been a great ride. I can't complain. I've lived the life that most people only dream of, let alone getting out there to be able to do it. So I'm grateful for that experience. There will never be another Gold Club ever in existence. It just won't happen. The way things are now with social media, with the internet, and especially with camera phones, there's no privacy. And the level that the Gold Club was on, no, you're never gonna find that again. It'll never happen.
Yeah, you're right about phones and stuff like that.
It's kind of what we said, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very private, wasn't it? I'm guessing, but yeah.
There's a video to watch on Sex Before the Internet. Put that in the watch later, Max.
No.
It's funny that there's a club I got invited to recently, and they're basing it on Studio 54. And it's got a basement level, which it used to be an old bank, I think, and the bottom floor's called the Vault.
Yeah.
And you go down there, and that's invite only.
Right.
So when you go down, you're not allowed to take your phones in there.
Yeah.
So you have to leave your phone in like a little security lock.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Right, okay.
And if you get caught with your phones, you're barred forever.
Yeah.
Barred for life type thing. But down there, it's kind of supposed to be pretty exclusive. And
right, okay.
So I went down there. It was just full of knobheads. So I'm like, so I'm going back upstairs. Move phone
chances?
back.
Full of knobheads.
It's just like you're just going in, you're looking around, you're looking at people going, God, you're all like, I'm just like, nah.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, exactly what I thought. I thought, no, I'm like going in. Where's the strippers?
Let's get to the pub.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, this is shite. There's no football on the screens, no screens. Exactly. Some DJ playing music that's just giving me a headache.
Yeah,
and I thought, I'm getting old.
Yeah,
I'm getting old. This ain't for me.
Yeah, what pub with sport on it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, quite pint in the corner.
It's a good video. That
it was a good video.
Really interesting. You know, especially her talking over it. She explained it really well.
Yeah,
I wonder what she's doing now though.
I just, it's I always wonder. Yeah, same. Wonder what she's doing now. But the other side of it is, I always wonder like that fall from grace, because you never forget what you're doing on your way up, because when you come, you can come down as quick as you go up, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So just never forget the people that sort of like puts you into where you're going when you're going up places.
Exactly. Yeah.
And like you say, you're living that sort of like highbrow lifestyle of private jets, or especially VIP treatment, and then all of a sudden you're down to nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing there at all. It's a huge difference, isn't it?
My advice to her is Netflix. Do a film, right? Because that'd be a film. Yeah. That would be a film. She dated Dennis Rodman. Yeah. She was saying she was the highest valued dancer, if you want.
It's a great shout. I wonder if she has done. They have done a film along those lines about the Gold Club or something.
I'd definitely watch that on Netflix.
It definitely seems interesting enough, doesn't it, about it to do something like that. So yeah,
but especially if you do like almost true based on facts sort of thing.
Bit of a Netflix mini-series, something like that. Of course, do that on Patreon, couldn't we?
Yeah. We could produce it. Anyway,
nice.
Good that. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.
Cheers.